15 boring ways to out. Earn your job. Picture this: two people, Jude and Mary. They grew up in the same neighborhood, went to the same school, and graduated the same year. Today, they both land jobs in their mid-20s, paying exactly $58,000 a year. After taxes, they both take home about $3,400 a month. They both have a car payment, and they are both in a group chat where everyone complains about being broke. But here is where it gets strange. It is a Tuesday evening, the 22nd of the month. Jude checks his bank app. He has $190 left and 3 long weeks until the next paycheck. He does not have a gambling problem or a shopping addiction. His money just evaporates. Now look at Mary. Same Tuesday, same salary, but sitting in a separate account. She has an extra $1,240 that dropped in this month while she was sleeping. It came from a parking spot, a storage unit, a dividend deposit, and a few other boring systems she set up once and then ignored. Same city, same age, completely different lives. This is not a video about working harder. It is about what happens when you stop letting your only income stream be the one that requires you to show up. My name is Nick. I have spent way too much time figuring out why some people stay stuck in this cycle month after month, while others, with no more talent or time, slowly build a completely different reality. If you have ever felt like your paycheck vanishes before you have done anything interesting with it, hit that subscribe button. Because today, we're going through 15 of the most boring, low-effort income streams that can eventually make you more than your job. Let us get into it. The architecture of the trap. The moment you earn $1 from a job, the government takes the biggest possible bite. Federal income tax, state tax, and a 7.5% payroll tax on top. If you are earning $58,000, you are actually keeping somewhere around $44,000. The rest went to taxes on your labor. Here is what makes this infuriating. If that same dollar came from a dividend, a long-term investment, or a rental stream, it gets taxed at a completely different rate, sometimes as low as 0%. The IRS data on millionaires shows they have an average of 7 income streams, not because they are geniuses, but because the first income stream is a tax trap, and every additional one gets favorable treatment. Then there is inflation. Since 2021, the cost of essentials, rent, groceries, and insurance has surged by nearly 25%. If your wages have not grown by 25%, you did not just stay the same. You got a pay cut. One income stream is always going to feel tight because the system was never designed for you to have just one. Mary did not transform overnight. She started with one boring thing, then another. 18 months later, she has $1,240 a month showing up on top of her paycheck. Here is exactly how she did. The 15 boring income streams. Rent out your parking spot. If you live near a hospital, a university, or a stadium, you are sitting on an asset you are currently giving away for free. An unused driveway or a second garage spot can be listed on apps like Spotero or Neighbor in 10 minutes. A spot near a hospital can pull $150 to $250 a month from nurses who refuse to pay $20 a day for hospital parking. Your time commitment, 0. 2. Rent out your storage space. The self-storage industry generates over $40 billion a year because people have more stuff than space. Neighbor.com connects people with unused basements or garages to people who need to store things. Average hosts earn nearly $300 per each hour of actual work because the work is just letting someone move their boxes in once. 3. Vending machines. This sounds like a 90s side hustle, but the math still works. Buy a used machine. Negotiate placement in a high-traffic break room or an apartment lobby. A solid location produces $300 to $600 a month in profit. Once the location is set, you just show up once a week to restock and collect the cash. 4. ATM ownership. Negotiate placement in a cash-heavy business, a bar, a nightclub, or a cannabis dispensary. You collect the $3 surcharge every time someone withdraws. At 300 transactions a month, that is $900 in gross profit. Your capital is sitting inside a metal box in someone else, S-bar, working for you 24/7. 5. Self-service car washes. Private equity firms are pouring hundreds of millions into car washes because they are boring and they reliably work. People need clean cars, whether the economy is good or not. Buying an existing location is as close to owning a money printing machine as you can legally get. 6. High yield savings accounts, HYSA. If you are keeping your savings at a traditional bank, you are likely earning 0.01%. That is a joke. Online accounts currently pay 10 to 40 times more for the exact same act of having money. You are not getting a better product by staying at a big bank. You are just subsidizing their marble lobby. 7. Treasury bills and I, bonds. T-bills are short-term U.S. debt currently paying around 4%. They are as close to zero risk as finance gets. The best part, the interest is exempt from state and local income taxes. If you live in California or New York, that exemption meaningfully improves your real yield. 8. Dividend growth funds, South Carolina HD. You buy shares in a fund like SCHD, which holds 100 dividend-paying companies. They pay you quarterly, and you reinvest those dividends to buy more shares. It is a compounding machine. Over a decade, that original investment could generate thousands annually in pure passive income. 9. REITs, real estate investment trusts. This is real estate without the 11 p.m. phone call about a leaking pipe. You buy shares in a fund like V&Q, which owns hundreds of commercial properties. You are legally required to receive 90% of their taxable income as dividends. 10. Peer-to-peer real estate lending. Platforms like Ground Floor let you lend money to house flippers for as little as $10. You are essentially acting as the bank. You can target 10% returns by spreading your risk across dozens of different projects. 11. Selling digital downloads. This isn't about being an influencer. It is about creating a budget spreadsheet, a Notion template, or a printable planner once and selling it on Etsy. Every sale after the initial work costs you nothing but a transaction fee. 12. Print on demand. Upload designs to Amazon Merch or Redbubble. A customer orders a shirt. The platform prints it, and they ship it. You collect a royalty without ever touching a piece of fabric. This is a research skill, not an art skill. Find a niche with high demand and low competition. 13. Licensing stock, photos, and video. AI can generate a generic businessman shaking hands, but it cannot generate an authentic 4K drone shot of a specific farmer's market in Portland. Specificity is your leverage. Video clips earn roughly 20 times more than photos. 14. Paid focus groups. Companies like Respondent. I'll pay $100 to $400 for 60 minutes of your opinion. They need real human feedback and are willing to pay rates that would embarrass most part-time jobs. It doesn't compound, but it is a high hourly rate way to fund your other investments. 15. Laundromat ownership. The laundry industry has a 95% survival rate. Why? Because laundry never goes away. It is a cash flowing asset with a 90% customer repeat rate. You are buying a machine that generates income for decades from a fundamental human need, the final count. Here is what Mary's life looks like 18 months later. She still has the same job, but her boring systems bring in $1,300 a month. She didn't go viral. She doesn't have a podcast. She spent 4 evenings setting these things up and then left them alone. Jude is still staring at $190 on the 22nd. Not because he is bad with money, but because he never built the systems. You are already trading hours for money at your job. That is the most expensive income stream you'll ever have. These 15 things are a different trade. You exchange a small block of time or capital upfront and collect a return for years afterward. That is how wealth actually accumulates. That is why the average millionaire has 7 of these running while most people have 1. The compounding clock starts the day you start, not the day you feel ready. Jude is still waiting. Mary already stopped thinking about it. I'm Nick. I'm not a financial advisor, but I am someone who wants you to stop trading your life for a paycheck that doesn't love you back. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.